From his past to now, he went from the dope dealer to the hope dealer. Like that is a summary of CJ.
Yeah, straight up.
Most of the time when we do a Legends video, it's about those who are in the final season of life, living out their purpose and fulfillment. But we don't start there. Our beginnings are often messy and ugly. This is a story of a couple who are in that beginning stage of walking with God through pain and struggle. This is the story of CJ and Sheila.
I've been doing drugs since I was about 15 years old. Hard drugs, meth, all of it. I was violent, man. I was mad at everybody, and I was selling drugs and the whole 9 yards. And I didn't live nowhere. I lived in a tent that one of my buddies gave me on the side of a pond. It depends on where I was at. Well, this woman that took my kids, at first, I did not like this woman. I ain't gonna lie, I tried to jump on her a couple times. But I come to love her though, because I was spiraling out of control. I wasn't probably 100 pounds. I was starving. Walking down the road, she'd pick me up, take me to McDonald's, and buy me 10, 15, 20 cheeseburgers. All the stuff that we've been through, from me hating her, can't stand her guts. I think that was the first time that the Lord really worked in my life to where I was like ready to change.
I've always kind of dealt with a little bit of depression and anxiety, and then had kids and in and out of relationships, basically get used a lot and trying to make it on my own and everything. We ended up moving to Thomasville, me and the 5 kids, and we lived in a rough neighborhood in Thomasville.
Yeah. And
this apartment was like falling apart. The whole neighborhood, it was just, people shooting outside our door, drugs, police always out there. It really wasn't a place for a single mom and 5 kids. It just wasn't a place for us to be. I'm embarrassed to say, sometimes how the house would actually look and everything. And I'm surprised, even he wanted to even come around, because I've told him I didn't want to be there. The kids didn't want to be there. It was just terrible. But, we made it through somehow.
CJ and Sheila's relationship was fine for a while, but then things got rough.
There's so much that I'll never speak about. When I stare at it for too long, it swallows me down. It comes in waves.
CJ was using again, and eventually would move away. At some point, they would both meet Jeremy Merritt and Andrew Underdown. Jeremy was temporarily helping out J&J Roofing and Construction, and he met up with CJ's brother, Jared.
So I was out there working with them for quite a while. I would be on the roof with them. And every moment, I would turn Christian music on or try to get them to read the gospel. I've saw them many times, that whole group, want to throw me off the roof and cuss me out. It was rough moments. And probably a year and 2 months into it, Jared was the first one that said, hey, you can leave the Christian music on. 2 or 3 months later, he said, I want to give my life to the Lord.
Jared gave his life to God, and Jeremy and Andrew started a book study underneath this tree at Georgia Boy. It began with just a couple of guys from the roofing crew. Andrew would teach about the Bible, and Jared would listen. CJ watched his brother's attitude and life change, and then he decided to start showing up for this study.
And I heard about my brother and everybody going to church and how they were changing, so I had to come see it myself. That's when we met Jeremy.
So we're all in this room right here. CJ would ask a lot of questions, but the courage to ask him, did he want to receive the Lord in his heart? It wasn't me that asked, it was Andrew. Andrew took a bold statement and asked CJ. Within 10 seconds, CJ broke in tears.
My whole life changed. I went from digging a hole to actually start coming out of a hole. And it's a great feeling, man. It's like, whew, everything's off your chest. That's when I met my mentor, Brian Lassiter. He walks up to us, and you see a guy with the fade up haircut, swole. If you're anything like me, you think he's a cop off rip. And you know, that's just how it is. We don't talk to the police. I mean, I do now, but back then it's just one of them things. We start talking to Brian, and he starts telling us what it actually means to be baptized. It's like letting the church know that you're saved, you just want the Lord to work in your life, and you're ready to change, you're ready to give it up.
So CJ's story goes like this. Jeremy leads Jared to Jesus. CJ sees Jared change, and Andrew leads him to Christ. Soon after, Jared, his wife, CJ, Sheila, their brother Justin, and their mother all get baptized. Sometimes it just takes a single person listening to Jesus for an entire community to change. And life did begin to change for CJ. He wanted to know more about the Bible, and Andrew was right there to talk with him.
Andrew is one of those unique guys that can interpret the gospel very well. And see, the Lord knew that CJ had a special gift.
He definitely does have the motivational gift of teaching.
Yeah.
And CJ will just start talking about the Bible. I'd be like, yeah. I mean, by the time you're done with the phone call, you're pumped up. It's like, he's absolutely right. This is great. So he is very, very encouraging. And it's been wonderful watching him and Sheila grow in the Lord and watching their children grow in the Lord because they're in children's church. It's been a wonderful experience to watch that.
It's just precious to see what and where he has come from.
CJ and Sheila have come a long way, but their story has just begun. They both went through Discover Heritage and each found a place to serve. CJ greets at the front door, and Sheila helps out in Heritage Kids. But you know what's crazy about their story? It all starts with God telling one guy to reach out to Jared. Jared's salvation changed his whole family's life, and not just theirs. Remember the Bible study by the tree? That Bible study grew so big that now they're having to host it at J&J Roofing's parking lot, with more than 50 people attending every Wednesday.
There's mornings that Wednesday morning service is more powerful than any church service I have been in. Because there's a lot of people that go to that meeting that don't even attend a church.
Yeah, they don't even go to church. And you know, that's how you reach people outside of church. If you want to reach new people, you got to go to where they're at. You can't just say, hey, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay right here in this little huddle over here or this little group, and I'm gonna hope that they come over here and see us. It don't work like that, man. Get your hands dirty, get over, shake. Just love. Like, try to love on them the best you can. Look at us, for instance. It started off with just people just being nice to us, and then that little bit of spark saved us.
Church isn't just Sunday mornings sitting in that pew, or it's taking
matter.
That out there to people,
sharing with people
are not going to hear it otherwise.
That need to hear it.
You know, I thank God for the meetings that we go to, and like He uses these people to, you know, lift us up.
Yeah.
And I thank God for just the new family He has put in our lives, giving us just hope.
Oh, yeah, hope.
Hope. It's what holds us closer to God in those moments when our faith is struggling. Sheila's right. For CJ, dealing hope is what he's all about. God isn't looking for the perfect, just the people who are willing to listen and change. And the story of CJ and Sheila, just like your story, is just beginning.
Started from the bottom, but the top is where I'm headed. On a journey to conquer. I won't stop till I'm a legend.